What's going on, guys? My name is Timothy Wright, the founder and CEO of the Nonprofit Launcher. We are back again with another video, and in this video we want to discuss business credit for nonprofits. Most people don't understand that a nonprofit is a business entity, just like an LLC, just like an S Corp, just like a C Corp, and because it's a business entity, it can also position itself to get business lines of credit, business credit card, business funding opportunities in general. So today what it is that we're going to discuss is actually how to structure your nonprofit to get the best business funding opportunities. I'm going to also provide you a list of different websites that you may want to sign up for or maybe even look into to position yourself for the best business funding opportunities. And then last but not least, I'm actually going to walk you through how to create a Duns & Bradstreet account for your nonprofit organization. Let's dive. Now, the first thing we're going to talk about is structuring the nonprofit to ensure that it can establish business credit. Now, I'm not going to go too deep into structuring because it's something that we've talked about in other videos, but very simply, you just want to make sure that your nonprofit is fully registered with your state. Every state has an online portal. You can just Google Secretary of State, and then it has an online portal you need to sign up for, and then you can file your actual nonprofit with your state. We have a done for you service if you need help with that as well. From that point, you'll get your EIN number, and then you'll want to file your 501c3 application. Now, in the midst of you filing your 501c3 application, you're going to have to wait 45 to 60 days. Could be a little bit shorter, could be a little bit longer. But in the meantime, this is where you want to start positioning your organization for business credit. So the first thing you're going to do is open up a business bank account. Now, you want to make sure that you have a business bank account for this said nonprofit, and you're not just using Cash App, you're not just using Venmo, and you're not just using your personal bank account. You want to make sure that you have a business bank account. And the reason why you want to have a business bank account, just for your clarity, is because when you actually position this organization to get business lines of credit, business credit cards, right? Business loans. They're going to want to see, what type of transactions, if there are any, that's happening within the business checking account. Now, you may be in a position where you go out and get business funding, business lines of credit before you actually start generating revenue. That's possible as well, but you're going to definitely need to have a business bank account already set up with that said institution, or just with an institution in general, to show that this nonprofit is official. We have a business bank account. You want to make sure that the nonprofit's name is the main name on the bank account. The debit card that you get, you want to ensure that it says the nonprofit's name. This is how you know that this is a business checking account and not a personal one. And of course, depending on the bank that you choose, some banks have no fees for nonprofit organizations. And then sometimes you have to have your 501c3 certification to actually not get this fee. So if you're opening up your business bank account before you get your 501c3 certification letter, which I recommend you try, some states you can't, but I definitely recommend you try it so you can keep the ball rolling. If you can, you definitely want to ask them, does nonprofit organizations has to pay a monthly fee to obtain this business bank account, or is this something that's going to be cut off because I'm a nonprofit? Let that answer you. And then if they tell you, well, you need to have your 501c3 certification letter, but you can't open up the bank account now, I would just ask them, okay, so I know I have to pay the fee for the first month or whatever it may be, but then if I bring in my 501c3 certification letter, well, this will move all the fees going forward conducting business with this business bank account. And that's the basics of your structure. Now let's talk about actually how to position this structure for business credit. The first thing you want to do is go to dnb.com. That's Duns & Bradstreet, but it's N is in Nancy, B is in boy.com, and you'll be able to set up a free account on this platform. And I'll get into this in just a second. I'm going to actually walk you through it, but you're going to be able to create a free account and then apply for a DUNS number. Now, a DUNS number is a data universal numbering system, which is very simply just a unique way for the IRS to determine which business is which, and then the number of the credit history. So anytime you make moves with your nonprofit, whether it be making payments or not making payments, it'll show up on this DUNS number, which is going to be then attached to your EIN number, which will then equate your business's credit. So right now you have a social security number. As you know, your social security number is attached to anything that you buy, anything that you own, right? And all your payment history is attached to this social. Now, all of your payment history for your nonprofit is going to be attached to your EIN and this DUNS number. This will show your organization's credit history, which will then give you a larger Experian business number, and then of course an opportunity for you to get larger amounts of funding with your business. The next platform I'm going to recommend to you is nav.com, nav.com. They have a credit builder, and this is a cool platform for you to get trade lines attached to your business's organization. And this is a great opportunity for you to get business trade lines attached to your business. You can have trade lines for $39.99 a month, for $49.99 a month, and you can only do it for a specific amount of time, where this is going to represent you making a payment or a trade line, if you will, onto your business, which will then grow your business's credit number, just like how you would on your personal side. This just gives you a better opportunity to go get funding in the future. So Nav has Nav Prime and Nav Builder. Nav Prime is essentially where you will monitor your business's credit, and then Nav Builder is those trade lines that I mentioned to you, where you have the chance to add on to your business's credit with those trade lines. Now, another thing to do to stack your business's credit is apply for net 30 accounts, net 60 accounts, sometimes even net 90 accounts, right? You can use platforms like Granger, use platforms like Quill, use platforms like Uline. And what these platforms are simply is supply companies. They have a large chain of supplies, different supplies that you may need to conduct business within your organization. And they allow new businesses to create a net 30 account, a net 60 account. And these accounts is where you will need to pay whatever you spent back within that net 30 days or within that net 60 days. So let's say if you have a $500 spending limit or $1,000 or $10,000 spending limit, whatever you spend, you'll need to pay all of that back within a 30-day time span. And once you do that, they report to Nav, they report to Experian Business, where then your business credit will then be boosted. The same thing with Uline, the same thing with Office Depot. There's a lot of different organizations that allow you to create net 30 accounts for you to essentially then have credit with them, where as long as you're making payment back, it reports, like I said, to these payment histories, will then boost your credit. So then when it's time for you to walk into the bank and get business lines of credit, 20, 30, 40,000, 5, 10,000, whatever it may be, you now have some credit history on top of the last part, which we recommend, which is a personal guarantor. Now, this is how we skip the line. If you've been to a club or a bar before, you know sometimes there's a long line and then there's a skip line. And if you pay a little bit extra for the skip line, you can walk right into the club. And instead of you waiting, 10, 20, 30 minutes to get inside the club, you having a personal guarantor gives you the opportunity to skip a lot of the steps that other people would need to take to actually build up their business credit. A personal guarantor very simply means that you're already having good personal credit already. If you have no derogatories, nothing on your credit history, no late payments, and you have a 700, 750, 800 or above, you can simply co-sign your nonprofit as a PG, personal guarantor, to give your nonprofit that access to this said funding, and then use it for, events or resources that you need to grow your organization. And then lastly, before I actually walk you through the Duns & Bradstreet setup, is you want to make sure that your business is aligned everywhere publicly. So I recommend using a platform called listyourself.net. You want to go to listyourself.net and go to business and create your business on listyourself.net. Put the address in, put the phone number, put the website if you already have one. And then this now helps your organization be aligned everywhere, where when somebody or a business that actually look up your organization, it shows. One thing that could actually affect businesses from getting business lines of credit is they actually aren't aligned all over the world. So their website address is different from their bank account address. Their bank account address is different from their EIN number. The EIN number is different from what's on List Yourself. List Yourself is different from what they use to set up a Duns & Bradstreet account. And if you make all these align, all of these should have the same information, the same EIN number, the same business address, the same business email. If you have to make a change to your business email, you want to try to go through it and change it everywhere as well, just so it can stay aligned. This is going to be the last little cherry on top that helps your organization be best in position for business funding and business lines of credit. So now that we discussed all these things, what I'm going to do now is I'm actually going to pull up dnb.com, and I'm actually going to walk you through step by step how to apply for a Duns & Bradstreet number. What is it I'll do is I'm going to drop this video here, but then I'm going to make this a separate video and post it as well on very simply how to create a Duns & Bradstreet account. This is something I'm recommending you not only just watch, but go ahead and participate with me so you can go ahead and get it done now to start positioning your organization for business credit. Why not? All right, guys, so I am on dnb.com, Duns & Bradstreet. This does not take long at all. So I want to encourage you to do this along with me. Pause the video if you need to, but go ahead and get this done now if you feel like you're in a position to do so. So we're going to go to Duns number. We're going to select right here where it says Get Duns Online. Get Duns Online. You'll scroll down and you'll click on where it says Get Started. I'm assuming that you have a US based business. So we're gonna click on Get Started right here. And then this is actually gonna take you to the business. So I'm gonna type in, I'm just gonna make up 75231. And then I'm gonna put Rights Business LLC. And what you'll see in most cases is your business name isn't there. Now, if you type in a business entity with the correct email and then it shows up, this means that you already have a DUNS number that's been created, and then all you have to do is select this. You're gonna have to verify who you are, and then boom, this account will be yours, the DUNS number will be yours. But let's just go with it and assume that you just filed your articles of incorporation and then got your EIN letter, and now you're ready to go ahead and do the next step. So we're gonna click on not listed, request a DUNS number, and then you will see within 30 days, you can get your DUNS number completely free at all. So we're gonna click on get started for free. Now what you're gonna have to do is you're gonna have to create an account with them as well in order for you to be able to process this application. So go ahead and put in your email, your first and last name, and then it'll give you the next steps on creating your free account. Okay, now that we're logged in, here's the most important thing that you're gonna need. You're gonna need two documents that specifies that you are or your business is what it says your business is. So very simple. Two documents you want to have is your articles of incorporation. This is your also known as your certificate of formation that you should have gotten from the state whenever you got fully approved. And then also you want to provide your EIN letter. These are the two biggest, easiest things. So provide your EIN letter and then provide your articles of incorporation. Then we'll go down here to click on get started. Now, when we get to this point, this is where you want to put in all of your business's legal information, the legal business name, the year it was registered, the company address, the city, state, zip code, state, and you definitely want to make sure that you use whatever on your EIN letter. Use the address that's attached to your EIN letter. Number of employees, put 1, then that would just be yourself. Put 1, the structure of your organization is going to be a corporation or LLC, and then more than likely you're going to be the executive director. The principal name, this is going to be you. So just so you know that, they're asking who you are. The business number, you will put in whatever said business number you have. The business email, you don't have to go and spend more money creating a www.whatever your organization.org, although that's definitely good. A personal Gmail account will definitely suffice. Nobody's going to have access to this except for you. You're just doing this to get your organization solidified. Business website, you can put that in if you don't need to, or you see it's not asterisk, so you don't need to do that. Now, SIC code, you're gonna probably want to use ChatGPT to help you out with this. And very simply, if you just went to ChatGPT and you just asked it, what's the SIC code for my organization? Our mission statement is this. Now, ChatGPT will give you that number. You can put that number in here and then you'll be able to select your business description. Also, what I would do is I would just put in administrative of social and human resources. This is the most common one that is used for nonprofit organizations. So if you didn't want to go spend that time going to ChatGPT, you can literally just copy and paste this and then move along. Now for the business verification, again, you're gonna need to upload your articles of incorporation and then upload your EIN letter, and then you would attach that to your files right here. And then once you're done, you'll submit the application. If you don't have that information yet, you can just save it for later, and then you can come back to your platform and then you'll be able to finish. Now, once you're done, all you need to do is click on submit application. Now, once you click that on complete application, you're still not done. You have one more thing to do before your app is fully solidified, and you need to accept the terms and conditions. So your platform should look like this. All you need to do is come to product terms acceptance. You're gonna need to click on this, scroll all the way down to the bottom. You see you can't even accept it yet, so you scroll all the way down to the bottom and then press accept. Once you press accept, now your application is fully submitted, and now you're on your way to establishing business credit for your nonprofit. All right, guys, as we wrap up here, I just want to remind you that your nonprofit is a business entity, just like an LLC, just like an S Corp, just like a C Corp. And because it's a business entity, you want to use it like a business. Businesses use OPM, other people's money. Their grant opportunities are, of course, there. Their donors are, of course, there. The sponsors, of course, they're there. But then you just having that knowledge and skill and expertise to go out and get funding on your own from the bank if you need to, it's just something that you definitely want to have within your repertoire. So I'm hoping this video has been impactful for you. Watch it again if you need to. I'm signing off. I'll see you again soon. Peace.